Hello guys, welcome back to the Code Guru. I am Mahi and today I am back with a new video. So guys, let's get started. Friends, the topic for today's video is arrays. So friends, the first question which arrives in your mind is what is an array? So, an array is a group of same type of variables taken up for a similar task, and all the elements of an array have a similar name, that is the name of an array. For example, when you have to take the marks of 50 students, you would take 50 variables m1, m2, m3 and so on. But you can do it with the same variable if you take an array. Array is a reference data type which makes the space for that number of variables which you give it. So you can give marks 1, 2, 3, 4, the length should be 50, and it would give the variables 1, 2, 3, 4, 50 would have the same name m. You should remember that arrays can be of more than one dimension, that is can be of 2-dimensional array, 3-dimensional array, but today we are going to discuss about 1-dimensional arrays. So this is the basic structure of a 1-dimensional array. You can see this. Here you can see these are boxes applied for the variables. This will take up the variables, and above it we have our index number. In our schools and coachings we have our roll numbers, right? So here the elements of an array have an index number. It begins with 0, as the counting of computer always begins with 0. If you have given the length of the array 9, then it will give 10 spaces, like 0 to 9, as it will begin counting to 0 to 10. And when you ask the computer to give you the length, it will give you 10, because it knows that humans only understand the counting from 1, starting from 1. Here it is you all understand that these are index numbers, and below that we have spaces for the variables. If you come on to the box with the index number 8, its variable number is 9, that is the 9th variable would be stored in it, but its index number would be 9 because the counting begins with 0. Now that was all about arrays. Now let's begin with simple code. So now friends, we'll be doing the code to write a simple program for arrays. So now I have created my own project in the BlueGist software. If you have not created one, then please create it quickly. So now we'll create the new class. We'll give an appropriate name to our class which must match to our project. ARR. We're talking about arrays, so ARR. We'll open the editor and first of all clear it in order to write our code. Now we can begin writing our code. First of all, we want the util package, so we'll write import java.util.history. This will import the util package in our class. Now we'll open our class ARR static void main. Now from the util package we need to take the scanner class. So scanner, the class, its object sc is equal to new scanner system.in. This means that this class will help us in order to accept the values from the user or from the keyboard. Now the main thing comes is how can we initialize, or what is the format to write an array. So it is, first of all you need to write the data type of what the array is, int ar, the variable you can take any, and then square brackets, empty square brackets, they mean that this is an array, is equal to new of int number of elements which you want in your array, that is your length, is equal to 5. The computer begins its counting from 0. So it will go and execute it till 4. But in our eyes it is from 1 to 5. But for computer it is 0 to 4. We'll write it in our language as it is source code int 5. So this was the format for arrays. Now we'll be accepting values from the user in our array. So for that, instead of taking AR0 and AR value of 1, we can simply use loops. For int I, int is the data type, I is equal to 0. I told you that computer begins its counting always from 0 and it will last till 4 as our counting is 5. So I is less than 5 minus 1 is 4. I is less than 5. Less than 5 is that it will not move to 5, but before 5 it will stop. And I plus plus. Now what we need to do is to take values from the user in our array. So AR value at position I. The position of I will be the current position for the array. Array position of I is equal to sc dot next int. So with this statement we are asking the user to enter the value. This will accept the value from the keyboard and store it in the variable AR at ith position. Alright friends, but this is alright. But how will the user know that what kind of value he or she has to enter? So for his or her help, we'll be printing a message on our screen. System.out.println enter a value. Alright. Now, as it is simple, what we'll be doing in our code is just we'll be entering values from the user and printing them. And later on I'll tell you how to calculate the sum of all elements of my array. So AR at I is equals to sc.nextInt. Now what you need to do is to print this AR at I. So system.out.println AR at I. The value of AR at the ith position will be printed with this statement. With this statement, our work of loop comes to an end and our class also closes. Now let's compile it and check. So new int 5. Alright friends, let's compile it. Here you can see it is telling cannot find symbol class int. So this was a typing error. I is never in capital, I is always in small in this statement. So now we can compile it. It has no syntax errors. So let's move for the output. We'll click on our class, right click it. Here you can see the option void main. Click on it. It is telling enter a value. So you can give any value. I'm giving it 2. It has printed 2 because we wrote system.out.print AR at ith position. Whatever will be the value, it will be printed over here. Enter a value 8. 8 is printed. 4, 8, 2. So you can see we gave the limit 5. So the loop was executed 5 times, although we started the loop from 0, 0th element, first element, second element, third element and fourth element in the computer's language. But for us, it is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright friends. Now, as I told you, I'll be showing you how can we do the sum of all the elements of an array. So in the same code, I'll be just editing few things. Like we'll take an variable int sum is equal to 0. Its initial value will always be 0 because when we are calculating the sum of multiple numbers given in a loop, we write it like sum is equal to sum plus the current value in the loop. Alright, so we'll be writing after we have taken the value from the user. For our help, we have printed it. Now we'll be writing sum is equals to sum plus AR at I. Now what this statement will do is it will calculate sum plus ARATI and store it again in sum. So what basically is being done is the value of sum is being regenerated by adding the value of AR at I every times. So now we have calculated the sum. Now we can print it system dot after the loop. Your sum is plus sum. Now this is code to calculate the sum of arrays. Now let's compile it. Hey, it has no syntax errors, so now we can go and check the output. It had the earlier one, so now enter a value 1, 2, 4. Enter a value 2, 5, 8 and 2. So our sum is 18. We can check it ourselves also, but what's the need? I know that the computer is always correct. 8 plus 2, 10, 10 plus 5, 15, 16, 17 and 18. That's done. So now friends, I hope now you are clear with the concept of one-dimensional arrays. If yes, then please do like and subscribe my channel and always also share my video. This is the code for my video. I hope you liked it. Thank you friends, and please don't forget to like and share my video. Also do the comments in the comment section, and yes, please subscribe to my channel if you are a new inspector. Thank you friends.